Hello world, it is Monday, December 21st, the shortest day of the year. And kind of reminds me of when I lived in Germany and actually where we were in Germany latitude-wise is much further north than here. So in the winter, boy, the days were really short. I would go to work in the dark and come home in the dark every day. And because it was so far north, even when the sun came out, it wasn't that intense. I didn't really notice it that much until we visited my parents who were living in Florida at the time. What a difference the intensity of the sun makes. Well, today's devotion is, excuse me, entitled Turn on the Lamps. It's written by Martha Spong. And Martha bases the devotion upon Psalm 80, verse 3, New Revised Standard Version. Restore us, O God, let your face shine that we may be saved. And Martha writes, I was a stay-at-home mom with a toddler when I first began paying attention to the length of days. After growing up in Virginia, I had moved to Maine, a state that by its location really ought to be in the Atlantic time zone. Every afternoon I read to my son, and each day in December I turned on the living room lights in the little Cape Cod house earlier. 4:01, 3:47, 3:35. That December 21st, we turned on the lamps at 3:13. Sometimes I think about our long ago ancestors moving from place to place with their flocks and calling out the great shepherd. Shortened days presented challenges to providing food for animals and people. They prayed these words, a psalm you might repeat in any season of need or of time or of trouble, words that became familiar and reassuring. If we see you are here, O God, we can get through this. Excuse me. Even though we know logically that tomorrow the sun will shine just a little longer and the days will stretch out before us again, we want to be saved from a long season of dwindling hope and increasing chaos. We want a glimpse of the face of God, reassuring us that we are not alone, that the cycle of death and rebirth has not stalled, but will continue. Today I hold on to the intricate wonder of days and seasons created by God, a sign that even when we need to turn on the lamps early, tomorrow will be a new day, and God's face will shine again. And Martha's prayer. Restore us, O God. Help us to see you in the turning of the seasons and the coming of the Christ child. Amen. Well, as I said, when we lived in Germany, we were much further north latitude-wise than here. And in the winter, it did get pretty dreary. And we lived in the south of Germany, which was pretty cloudy most of the winter. We didn't get a lot of snow, but it was just kind of damp and overcast almost continuously. And so with the really short days around Christmas, it could be really depressing. But on the other hand, the seasons continue to change. And the opposite was true in summer. So around June 21st, the longest day of the year, we could easily be sitting outside at an outdoor cafe, and there were lots of outdoor cafes there. Sitting outside at an outdoor cafe at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and it's still not really dark yet. It's just kind of dusky. So it was a trade-off. So yeah, I think it's just remembering that there is a cycle to things. So even when things get really difficult and hard, they will get better. Maybe not in the way that you remember, but in a different way. You won't be stuck in those very short, dark days forever. The sun will shine again, and God's face will shine again. So hold on to that hope. Keep praying, and pray for a time in which this pandemic is over and we can begin to congregate in person and see one another in person again. But until then, enjoy each other's joy and faces on Zoom, on FaceTime, on whatever method you can do to stay connected with your dear ones. I will talk to you again tomorrow.